What's going on, y'all? So I just got off work, man. I wanted to make this video, so I apologize in advance if the audio ain't clear, or if the camera and the lighting isn't clear. Like, I literally just got off work. So without further ado, I want to get straight into it, man. These are some things that I wish I knew in my 20s, and if you are younger than me, you know what I'm saying, just take heed, take what you need. If you're older than me and you agree or disagree, drop it in the comments. So the first thing that I kind of wish that I knew is, I'm gonna say it off the bat, man. You gotta do the work anyways. Like, you gotta do the work anyways. So what do I mean by that? Like, it could be from, working to save money. It could be from, whether you want to be good at a sport, whatever it is. Like, you have to do the work anyways. Like, there is no way for you to, I guess, bypass the work. So you might as well not even try to bypass the work. Like, do it and get it done, efficiently as you can. It's the same thing with having a job and make money. Like, whatever you want to do, I would say start on it as soon as you can. Like, the earlier the better. You know what I mean? Like, even if you want to play ball, even if you want to, cook, you want to be a YouTuber, whatever, start on it when you're younger, because the younger you start on it, the better. For a simple reason is that you have kind of the cushion to mess up if you do mess up. When you get older, your mess ups they're more expensive. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by more expensive is not always financial costs, as it is like the time that it takes to recover from those mess ups. Like me being 32, I can still mess up, but nobody's really going to recover the mess up but me. I have to do my own recovering from my own mess ups. You might have family and friends. They might help you out here and there, but people don't really have as much sympathy or empathy for you as you get older, because everybody's still trying to figure it out. Everybody is figuring it out. Everybody's still trying to figure it out. So just, do what you got to do now while you're under your mom's roof and your dad's roof or whoever you live with. Try to make those mistakes now while you have a cushion and a barrier. Also, man, get you some money, man. Like, work. You know what I mean? And when I'm saying work, the reason why I say work is because I feel like the sooner you start, the easier it is as you get older. Like, if you save some money and invest some money, you don't have to work as hard as you get older, because it's like trying to cover up a gap. And the older you get, the gap gets larger and larger. You know what I mean? So it's like, work now, save you some money, invest you some money in some stocks or whatever it is, whatever kind of investment you want to find, start now and do that. I think another thing that I tried to do in my 20s is like, starting a business, starting a hobby. But I think another thing with that is understanding that you're going to fail, bro. Like, you're going to mess up. It's okay. Like, whatever you want to do, you're not going to be good at first. That's fine. Like, nobody really is. You just got to show up. Like, show up and get better at that. But the more that you show up, the quicker that you get better at that. It's just like talking about basketball, for example, because I like basketball. So if you're talking about Kobe, when Kobe says, man, like, I do work, I outwork everybody. Like, I do 3 times a day when they usually would do 1 or 2. And if I compound that over days, over years, eventually nobody will be able to catch up with me. That is in essence true. Like, you just have to do the work. So the more work that you do, the quicker you become better at the work, and the quicker you become that much better than everybody else at said work. You know what I mean? So it's like, do the work now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just do it and get it done. Like, I think for me, had I started saving money then, and it's not saying that I wasn't, but if I had understood the value of money and I started saving money then, I started investing money then, my cushion would be a lot larger and I wouldn't have to do certain things. The truth of the matter is, I don't care what social media tells you. I don't care what everybody else tells you. Like, life is challenging. You're going to have to do some hard work one way or another. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. Like, it's anything kind of like worth having in life, you're going to do the work. I know you see everybody leaving their job and they quit. I've been there. I'm telling you, it's all good till you don't got no money and you can't go nowhere. Because then when that happens, you don't, and everybody else is doing stuff and you can't do it because you don't have the money. Like, it is a terrible, like, it is a terrible feeling. Like, I've been in this situation multiple times where my account is in the negative, my card declined, and it's just like, but I'm doing everything right, I'm trying, but it's like, sometimes you got to just do a little more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of can't necessarily depend on luck and like hope. Hope is not enough sometimes. Like, you can hope things that work out, but that's while you're doing the work. You know what I mean? You kind of have to do the work and you have to just show up at that. Another thing that I would say is, man, take care of your mind and your body, man. Like, when you get I understand now, like, while you get older, while people aren't as loud and they don't do as much as you get older, you don't have the energy for it. When you're young and you're active, like, you have more energy to do things. That is why they say sometimes the youth is wasting on the young, because you spend energy doing stuff that you don't really need to do, or you spend too much energy on that and not doing the things you could do. Like, I was the type of person that I always was kind of entrepreneurial, and I always tried different things. But I wish I would have figured it out early, and I kind of wish that I would have did more faster. Like, you're going to fail. You know, when you fail, just get back up. Like, just dust yourself off and get back up. It's okay to have big dreams. It's okay to have big goals, but you kind of have to have a plan. And just start on your plan. Like, you don't know where the plan is going to end, but you have to just start on the plan. Like, you have to just start at it. You know what I mean? As you start, the pieces will kind of come together. Like, I'm the type of person where I always want to do a lot of different things. That's just how I am. And I think for a long time I hesitated, or it's like paralysis analysis, or like I got down because I'm like, how do I get this stuff done? You know, and the thing is, I used to try to do too many things at once. And it's like, literally, bro, if you just do one, if you get the money can help solve a lot of issues. It might not solve everything, but it can help put you in a better space. I know a lot of times people are like, man, you know, money is this and money is that, and they don't like the way the government does certain things. But at the end of the day, life is a game, and you kind of have to know how to play said game. You know what I mean? And what I mean by play said game is that the people who have the money have the power. So if you want the power, what do you need to get? You need to get some money, or you need to get some power. You know, and so it's finding ways to do that. You know, you can argue about the game being rigged and not fair, which it is. But the only way for you to kind of, in my opinion, to be successful at the game is to get into the game. You have to get into the game. The quicker you can get in the game, the quicker you can get out the game and go and do other things. Whether you don't want to work, whether you want to move across country, you know, move to another country, whatever, you have to get in the game. You know, another thing is understanding that in certain places your money goes further in other places, but you still have to have a base to make money. Because if all else fails and you go back to zero, how are you going to get back from zero? You know what I mean? So money. Take care of that. Another thing is your mind. Like, your mental health is important. You know, one thing I think that separated me from a lot of people is my mental health. And what I mean by my mental health is not just, owie, my head hurts today, I don't want to go to work. But it's understanding that, like, your mental health is how healthy is your mind. Yes, we do need to take breaks from certain times while you're on the grind and different things like that. But you also have to build up your mindset and formulate resistance. Like, not resistance, resilience. I'm sorry. Like, you have to make resilience. You have to create resilience for yourself. And that is by doing hard things. You don't have to start out trying to take everything, you know, a big bite of the pie, but you do have to start like taking little bites. They compound over time. It is easier to do hard things when you're young than it is to start doing hard things when you're older. And a lot of reasons why is because you're already stuck in your ways of thinking. A lot of times why people are older aren't successful is because whatever mindset they have, that's the mindset they're keeping. A lot of times whatever their relationships are is based on the mindset that they have from their, you know, childhood trauma, whatever it is, and they don't want to change it because it's too much work. It's easier to change when you're young than it is when you're older. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do the work now. Don't be hard on yourself. Know that you're going to mess up. Know that you're going to make mistakes, but do the work now. You know what I'm saying? Just do it and get it over with so that way you don't have to do it. I think for me, when I started therapy maybe like 5 or 6 years ago when I was in my 20s, I was glad that I started then because I'm like, okay, I'm messed up, but it's not going to take me as long to get unmessed up. You know what I mean? It's not going to take me 20-something years to get unmessed up. But the better time would have been when I was younger and I would have had a better understanding of certain things. I think a lot of times people don't want to work hard. So guess what? If you work harder than them, you can get further. Hard work doesn't just translate to money. Hard work doesn't just mean you have to go get a job and work hard. A lot of times it's also the value that you bring forth in life. You know what I mean? Whether you want to go to school or not, like, you have to do something in life, to me, that is going to bring some value to other people. That is how you get paid. The more value you bring, the more money you can potentially make. You know, but the biggest thing I think is to be able to, like, take care of yourself. Cover your bases for yourself. Like they say on the airplane, put your mask on before you put other people's masks on. So that's important. Another thing is to take care of your health, like your physical health. Like, your body can only go as far as you allow it to go. But also sometimes life is hard and you're going to need to put your body through some you know, some different circumstances that you might not need. And that is why having a healthy body and a healthy mind is very important. Another thing is your goals. Like, man, get your goals together early. Try to figure, even if you don't know what you want to do, you know, try to figure it out early and just try to go in that direction. So if you want to do YouTube, just start making videos, start making clips, and then you can improve on whatever it is that you want to do as you get older. Like, sometimes things just take time, but one thing I've learned is growth compounds. It doesn't add or subtract. It multiplies. So whatever you do is going to multiply, whether it's good habits or bad habits, good relationship habits or bad relationship habits, it's going to multiply. But the one thing that I've learned is that if you take care of yourself, take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of your heart, those things can take your finances, those things can take care of you in a long run. I really wish I kind of would have started this process a little sooner. But you don't know what you don't know. But the important thing is building good habits. Like, that is the important thing, because you'll be surprised. You think that because people are older, they smarter. And it's like, no, people can be young and dumb. They can be old and dumb too. So you also have to be careful of what information you take in from people. Take the stuff that's beneficial for you, but leave the stuff that's not beneficial for you. You don't need to take every information from everybody. Follow people that do good things. Follow people that do the things that you want to do. A lot of times you do things because of your environment, not because that's who you really are. Whoever your circle is, you change your circle, you change your life. Like, whoever you get around can really determine if you're successful or not. You don't believe me? This is a simple scenario. If I hang around a friend that makes more money than me, guess what I'm going to want to do? I'm going to want to make more money, because I'm going to want to see, how do you make that money? If none of my friends make no money, I don't see nobody making no money, I'm not necessarily going to want to make more money. And that circle doesn't always have to be like your physical circle. It could be people that you follow on YouTube, that you listen to. Whatever you consume will consume you. That could be food, that could be music, that could be entertainment, that could be videos. Whatever you consume will consume you, because those things start to affect how you think. That's just what it is. It's like if you listen to rappers like YoungBoy and stuff, when you listen to certain music, it gets you hype. When you listen to other rappers, like people say Rod Wave is a sad artist, when you listen to other artists like that, it can bring your mood down. It's the same thing in life. The people you're around, they can either affect you or not. And you can say, hey, I'm above all that. That's fine. Eventually, those people will wear you down. Just like if you want to talk to that girl and eventually you feel like you'll wear her down, or people who are negative, they can bring your mood down over time. Those people can wear you down. That scenario can wear you down. And sometimes all you are is one bad scenario away from being in jail or dead. It's not always that you did anything wrong. Sometimes you really can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, so watch your surroundings. I'm not saying don't have fun, don't party, I'm not telling you none of that. You have to decide that for yourself. But you literally are one scenario away from your life changing from better or worse. I know for me, there's a lot of times where I could have been in a negative scenario had I not had the right friends around me. Another thing, men and women, ego, it does nothing for nobody. Like, if you thinking that you're the biggest and the baddest, there are always people who are going to be bigger and badder. Another thing is that as you get older, you realize some things just not worth it, bro. Like, you really, and it don't mean you soft. It don't mean that you can't take care of yourself, defend yourself when you need to. But a lot of times people, you know, wind up in jail or dead because of stuff that really wasn't that big of a deal. It's just the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could watch it on social media unfold every day. People always popping up in jail and dead over like stuff that just wasn't that serious. So you got to take your ego out of a lot of problems. Like, at the end of the day, we all just want to make it home to our family. You know, I would say another thing is just take care of your responsibilities, man. If you take care of your responsibilities first, then you can do the other stuff on the back end. That's why I say take care of your finances. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your body, because if there's a time come when you have kids, or you accidentally have kids, or you wind up in debt or whatever, you already have good habits to help you get out of it. It's easy to have bad habits. It's a lot harder to break them as you get older. You know, keep your mindset. The most important thing is mindset. A lot of things you don't think that you can do in life because either nobody told you that you can do it, or you don't believe yourself you can do it. But you can. It's mindset. Literally, the harder you do, it's just like doing hard things. When you do hard things, they become easy. But if you just do easy things, they become hard. Like, you need resilience. That's one thing that a lot of people don't have, is resilience. I was like that at first. I wanted everything. I didn't want things to be easy, but I just didn't think life was going to be so hard, and I didn't want it to be hard. But as I've learned, it's like, if you just deal with the stuff head on, it prevents it from being harder later. Like, it's like a snowball effect. Like, The more you know, the good habits, they can roll down the hill and become great habits. Bad habits, they can roll down the hill and become worse habits. It's so easy. It's not just one habit per day. It's like over time, those habits can become bad. And you can think that it won't happen to you, but we all thought that. You can ask any adult. We all thought that it would not be us. We all thought, man, when I get older, I ain't gonna work that job. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that. Da, da, da. You can ask. If you older, drop it in the comments. We all thought that. So you have to just prepare for tomorrow. If not, life will prepare you itself. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you can't pray about it. Don't mean you can't believe God for it or whatever. But you got to do the work. Sometimes the work is not as hard as you think it is. It is hard. It's not always going to be easy, but sometimes it's not as hard as you think it is if you just start today. Like if you just start doing the work, it compounds a lot quicker than you think. When it comes to women and money, another thing is that, bro, you don't always have to have as much money as you think that you have to have women. And it's really not even about that. If you are the person you say you are, whoever you are, that's who you'll attract. In essence is what I'm trying to say. So if you want better people in your life, better women, whatever, you need to be a better person. It doesn't always mean that you have to be nice or whatever, but you will not settle for less than who you are in life. So if you keep having bad relationships, you keep choosing bad people, or you keep having bad people around you, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but it's something around you, that is something in you or around you that's allowing you to allow these people in your life. You're not ever going to allow people in your life that's below you. If I'm a person that's successful, I'm not going to allow people that are unsuccessful to have any say in anything that I do in life. It's the same thing in relationships, friendships, etc. So sometimes, you know, when you having troubles in life and certain people around you, sometimes you got to check yourself, like, what in me is allowing these people around me? Do I care too much? Am I trying to save people that I don't need to save? You know, am I getting some bad habits out of it? Like, you have to kind of have self-awareness. And I think ultimately, man, you have to be in tune with who you are. You know, I could go on. I might make another video if this helpful, drop it in the comments. But you have to be in tune with who you are, and you do have to do the hard work. But if you do it now, it'll be easier than having to do it later. Get you some money, save your money, invest it, man. If you just duck off for 6 months, a year, bro, like I know people say that, but if you just duck off for a little bit, bro, and just stack some money, you'll feel a lot better. And then you'll still realize that people are still doing the same things that they was doing 6 months ago, a year. I promise you. I done did it a bunch of times. I done moved away, came home, went here, came home, went there, came back. People are still doing the same thing they've been doing for 10 years, bro. Like literally 10 years. Some people just don't want better in life. So sometimes it's just you doing a little stuff that really separates you from a lot of people. You don't really always have to do the utmost to just do better. You know what I'm saying? Just have good habits. Listen to people who got some sense. If they kind of going in the direction that you want to go in life, and they doing good things and stuff like that, those people you need to listen to. If you listen to people who just because they older than you, but they ain't really got nothing you want, unless you listening to their failures, don't really necessarily listen to them. Like I said, I think that's all I got right now. Mindset is probably the most important thing, man. Like, how you think is who you become. Like, if you don't think you can do it, you're right. If you do think you can do it, you're right. It's not always going to be easy, but it is doable. And sometimes the plan is a lot more simple than you think. You don't always need the extra stuff. You just need to find a plan that works and work it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can make $100, I can make $2. If I can make $200, I can make $3, $4, whatever. And if you find yourself a skill of value, you can do it. College isn't always a scam. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're going to school for something that's valuable in the market. I wish they would have told me that too. Like, you know, we pick degrees, we pick on what we like, which I'm not saying don't do something what you like, but you also have to look to see, are there jobs for this? Can I get a job from this? Like, are these things needed? Like, nurses are always needed. Doctors are always needed. Like, you know, funeral homes, people always got to die. You know, I know it's sad, it's morbid, but this is the truth. So once you kind of deal with the reality of life, I think you can go a lot further, a lot quicker. But you just got to start, man. Like, 6 months, a year, bro, you could be a sis, whatever. You could be a whole different person if you just, like, show up. That's half the battle. Really just showing up, even when things is hard, and finding things to keep you encouraged in the process. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you want to see a part 2, I might drop a part 2 one day. But this is all I got off the top of my head. Till next time, peace.